Have you ever heard of a man named Gerard Anaclet Vincent Oncos? Perhaps you might recognize him by his pseudonym, Papus. Born in the summer of 1865 in La Coruña, Spain, Papus was the child of a French physician father and a Spanish mother. The family's relocation to Paris in 1869 marked the beginning of an extraordinary journey for young Papus. As a bright student with a keen interest in the occult, Papus found himself drawn to the esoteric world. His fascination was fueled by the works and ideas of Eliphas Lévy, the famed Balzac of occultism. Papus's passion for the esoteric was not just a passing phase, but a lifelong commitment that would see him become an influential figure in occultism, Freemasonry, and Rosicrucianism. His name would become synonymous with modern Martinism, a movement he founded and nurtured. From a young age, Papus was destined to leave an indelible mark on the world of the occult. The year 1882 was a turning point in Papus's life as he was initiated into Martinism. At the tender age of 17, Papus found himself under the tutelage of the writer and journalist Henri Delage. Delage, a man of mystery and intrigue, is said to have received his initiation from his grandfather, Jean-Antoine Chaptal. Chaptal himself was allegedly a disciple of Louis-Claude de Saint-Martin, who was a disciple and secretary of the enigmatic theurgist Martinist de Pasquale. But let's not get lost in this labyrinth of lineage. The crux of the matter is it's widely accepted that Papus was initiated into Martinism by Henri Delage. However, like many tales of the occult, this one is shrouded in controversy. For starters, Delage himself never claimed to have been initiated by his grandfather. This omission begs the question, how could he initiate Papus into a tradition he himself wasn't officially part of? Furthermore, the exact nature of Chaptal's relationship with Saint-Martin is uncertain, adding another layer of ambiguity to the story. Then there are those who question the legitimacy of Papus's initiation altogether. They argue that Papus's initiation story is filled with gaps, inconsistencies, and is in essence illusory. These skeptics point out that Papus was a mere 17 years old at the time of his supposed initiation. In their eyes, it's highly unlikely that a person of such young age would be initiated into an occult tradition as profound and complex as Martinism. But despite the controversy and the skeptics, there's no denying that this initiation, real or imagined, played a significant role in Papus's life. It set him on a path of esoteric exploration, leading him to delve deeper into the mysteries of the universe and the human psyche. It was the catalyst that sparked his passion for occultism, propelling him into a lifelong journey of discovery and enlightenment. So, whether or not his initiation was legitimate, it undoubtedly shaped the course of his life and work. In the pursuit of restoring Western esotericism, Papus created the Martinist order. This was no small feat. Papus was determined to create an order grounded in Christian esotericism, a beacon of Western tradition amidst a sea of Eastern-oriented esoteric concepts. He envisioned Martinism as a source of spiritual and philosophical transmutation, a beacon of transformation. In July of 1891, Papus was elected as the Grand Master of the Martinist order, a position that allowed him to fully utilize his organizational talents. And it was these talents that would propel the order onto the international stage. Under Papus's leadership, the Martinist order expanded rapidly, both within France and beyond its borders. Martinist lodges sprouted up across Europe and even reached distant corners of the world, a testament to the order's universal appeal. But Papus didn't stop at establishing lodges. He recognized the power of the written word and its potential to reach even more people, so he created a monthly magazine, L'Initiation, which served as the official informational organ of the order. Through L'Initiation, the teachings and philosophies of the Martinist order were disseminated to an eager audience of readers, further extending the order's influence. As the Martinist order grew, so did its reputation. It quickly became an influential force in the world of Western esotericism. Its teachings resonated with many, sparking a renewed interest in Western esoteric traditions and philosophies. But more than that, it provided a platform for those seeking spiritual and philosophical growth, a community for those yearning for a deeper understanding of the world and their place in it. Papus's Martinist order was more than just an organization. It was a movement, a call to action for those seeking spiritual enlightenment. It was a beacon of light in a world often shrouded in darkness. And while the path was not always clear, the Martinist order provided a guiding light, a beacon for those willing to embark on the journey. Papus's Martinist order quickly became an influential force in the world of Western esotericism. In the end, it was Papus's vision and determination that made it all possible. His legacy continues to inspire and guide those on the path of spiritual and philosophical exploration. Papus's influence wasn't limited to France. He had strong connections with Russia as well. This connection was not merely incidental, it was a bond forged through shared spiritual interests and mutual respect for the esoteric traditions of both nations. Papus was introduced to Nicholas II, the last emperor of Russia, in 1901. Known for his interest in mysticism and the occult, Nicholas II saw in Papus a kindred spirit and a source of esoteric wisdom. This introduction marked the beginning of a relationship that would see Papus making 3 trips to Russia in the early years of the 20th century. Over the course of these visits, Papus not only deepened his ties with the Russian imperial family, but also worked tirelessly to spread the teachings of the Martinist order. He found in Russia a fertile ground for his esoteric ideas, a place where the mysteries of the West could find common ground with the spiritual traditions of the East. His efforts culminated in the establishment of a Martinist lodge in St. Petersburg. This was more than just a branch of the order, it was a beacon of Western esotericism in the heart of Russia. The lodge became a hub for those seeking spiritual enlightenment, drawing in people from all walks of life and serving as a testament to the universal appeal of the teachings of the Martinist order. But Papus's influence was not confined to the circles of the Russian elite. His writings and teachings found their way into the broader Russian society, sparking interest in the occult and esotericism among the general populace. His works were translated into Russian, and his ideas became a part of the cultural fabric of the country. His influence extended far beyond the borders of his home country, reaching even the Russian imperial family. In this way, Papus bridged the gap between East and West, showing that the spiritual traditions of different cultures could not only coexist, but also enrich one another. His work in Russia is a testament to the power of the Martinist order's teachings and the enduring appeal of its founder, Papus. The outbreak of World War I had a significant impact on Papus and the Martinist order. As the world was thrown into chaos, so too was the life of this extraordinary figure. The war was a cruel interruption, a brutal reality check that cast a long shadow over the thriving Martinist order. Papus, whose heart was as invested in his country as it was in his occult pursuits, answered the call to arms. He didn't shirk his responsibilities. Instead, he embraced them. He volunteered his services not as a soldier, but in a role that echoed his other life as a physician. He was appointed as a chief medical officer with the military rank of captain. His task was to heal, to mend, to restore, much like his mission with the Martinist order. However, the war wasn't just a battleground of nations, it was a battleground of fate. As Papus worked tirelessly on the front lines, he contracted tuberculosis. This was not an enemy he could fight with knowledge or spiritual strength. It was an adversary that slowly, relentlessly wore him down. On October 25, 1916, Papus succumbed to his illness. His death marked a significant blow to the Martinist order. The man who had breathed life into it, who had nurtured it and guided it, was no longer there. But even in death, Papus managed to make an impression. His burial in the Père-Lachaise cemetery in Paris was a solemn affair, punctuated by a tribute from the mystic and esotericist Yvon Leleu, better known as Paul Sédir. His words echoed the sentiment of many who had known Papus, who had been touched by his wisdom, his commitment, and his unwavering belief in the power of the occult. Despite his untimely death, Papus's legacy lives on, his impact on the world of the occult forever immortalized. His spirit, his teachings, his influence, all continue to resonate in the hallowed halls of the Martinist order and in the hearts of those who follow his path. Papus may be gone, but his influence is far from forgotten. This enigmatic figure left an indelible mark on the world of the occult, establishing the modern Martinist order and revitalizing Western esotericism. His works continue to resonate, shedding light on mysteries that have puzzled seekers of truth for centuries. From his initiation into Martinism to his international influence, Papus's journey was nothing short of remarkable. His legacy lives on through the Martinist order, which remains a beacon for those drawn to the mystical and the mysterious. Despite the controversies that surrounded his initiation and the challenges he faced, his contributions to occultism are undeniable. His ties to the imperial Russian court, his role as a physician during World War I, and his untimely death only add to the rich tapestry of his life. Papus, a name synonymous with Western esotericism, continues to inspire occult enthusiasts around the world.